So St. Paul was pretty much like the best, for me personally. I think he's just the best role model when it comes to being a witness. He was like really on fire for the Lord, and he just wanted everyone to feel that. He wanted to share that. And he just wanted everyone to know who God was and know all about God and how exciting and cool he is. And he even went so far as to die for his faith, which is pretty intense. So basically, St. Paul pretty much owns. But God's calling all of us to be witness, like St. Paul. But he's not calling us to be St. Paul, as I tried to act as him. Sorry. It was, I don't know, it's really hard to do that because, St. Paul was just like intense, like the most intense witness ever. So it's, God isn't calling us to be exactly as St. Paul was, but he is calling us to be a witness. I'm not sure how many of you guys went to Steubenville last summer. Yeah, awesome. It was all about being a witness and about spreading your faith and all that kind of fun stuff. So I just want to share a quote from the Bible. Once I find it. There we go, okay. So it's from Acts 1:8, and it says, "But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in all Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." See, I'm not lying. God is calling us to be witnesses. The Bible even says so. So, being a witness it's tough, it's scary. You want to talk to your friends about your faith, but you're afraid they're going to think you're lame and not cool. But don't worry, God thinks you're cool. You guys will get excited with that. All right. But being a witness, while it may seem lame, it's really worth it in the end. When you die and you go to heaven, it'll pay off. So, thanks Lord for laughing at me. So being a witness is not just about talking about your faith. It's also about living out your faith, which is really hard to do. In my case, when I was in high school, I'd go and be talking to my friends about my faith, and I'd be like, "Hey, Jesus is cool," and they'd be like, "Hey, you don't care." I'd be like, "Oh. Okay." But I still try to talk to them. I still try to bring them to Life Teen and to come to, Cornerstone or whatever crazy church thing I was going to that week. But the problem was, I was at Life Teen and all that kind of stuff. I was, I'm like a little Catholic girl, yay! But being at school, I wasn't acting like that. It was almost like two different personalities, you know what I mean? Being at school, I was not living out my faith, but here I was. So I wasn't being an all-around good witness. So, I was preaching the gospel, but I wasn't living out my faith the way I should be. And being a witness involves both preaching the gospel and living out your faith. So, ways you can witness, I guess, like I said, you can use your words. So, for example, last year, Brad used to come to our school, not to our school, to a pizza joint by our school, and me and a bunch of my friends from Life Team go and we get free pizza and eat and have a good time. And we started, telling everyone else about it, and eventually we had a whole big group of people that were coming and eating pizza and garlic fingers and playing with Maddie. And while it doesn't seem like witnessing, it was, because of the things we were talking about. Sometimes we talk about Life Team, or sometimes we talk about Edge, or sometimes we talk about Mass, or the homily, or whatever else. Or sometimes we might talk about video games that no one really likes except for Brad and Justin. But we always said grace before we ate, so no matter what, we were always witnessing using our words. Other ways we can witness, like I said, is living out your faith. So, like, I don't know, it's really hard to kind of live out your faith because you have to be, not judgmental. You have to love everybody. You have to care about everybody. You have to pray for everybody. Like, it's hard. I mean, especially if you're like, I don't know, if you're at school or something and this girl or guy's all like, you don't like them or something, and it's like, but you still know you have to pray for them, and it's like, well, that's my faith, so I don't want to, be rude to them or mean to them. Like, for me, I used to be like, God, please bless and pray for this person, because I don't want to. Like, and as terrible as that might sound, I was still kind of praying for them in a sense. So, and while people don't necessarily see that, what they do see is that you're being a good person and not actively hating that person. Another way I find for me a personal favorite way to witness is praying. Like praying, saying grace. I say grace everywhere before I eat, no matter where I am. Like last year in the cafeteria at school, I was sitting with a bunch of my friends, and I said grace before I ate, and my friend was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, hey, I'm saying grace. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I want to thank God for giving me the food and, blessing me with having food and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, well, you might as well say it out loud. And I was like, might as well. So then I did. So we kind of said grace together, which is kind of cool. Even though I think he had no idea what was going on, but whatever. So that was, it was a way of witnessing because he asked me about my faith, and I kind of explained a little bit to him. So yeah, basically, God is calling us all to be witnesses. Good night, Kaden. He's calling us all to be witnesses because he wants us to share our faith with those who need it, with those who don't know him. He wants everyone to know him because, he's a fantastic guy. He's cool, he's loving, he's compassionate. And who doesn't want to know God? Like, he owns more than St. Paul does. So, I just kind of want to wrap up a little bit with another Bible quote. Yes, another Bible quote from the Old Testament. So, I'm going old school. So it's from Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1. And it says, when you go to war against your enemies, and see horses and chariots, and an army larger than your own, you shall not be afraid of them. For the Lord your God is with you, who brought you out from the land of Egypt. So God is telling us that he wants us to witness to people, and he wants us to not be afraid. Like, going out into the world, especially today, when there's so many people who don't know him, it's kind of like going out and facing a really large army of people who write atheist things on buses, or people who just don't want to know God because they're like, he's lame. What does that even mean? Like, he wants us to go and witness to them and not be afraid because he's the one speaking through us. It's not us who's talking to people, it's the Spirit of the Father speaking through us. So, St. Paul knew that. He knew that it was God speaking through him. And he embraced that, and I really think that we should too. So that's what I want to challenge you guys this week, maybe just to, talk to someone about your faith, or just, if they ask you to do something Sunday night, just be like, oh, I'm going to Life Teen, it's a church thing, or something. Just maybe talk to someone